Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I apologize. This was very much a last minute decision. Today's reading I'm going to do on King Charles III's coronation. This was a very last minute reading, and I know that you haven't seen or heard much from me in the last few weeks. It's because yeah, I think my mojo has left me and run off with somebody else. That's why. So I haven't really had a very what's the word? I haven't felt bubbling with energy and engaged, I guess. Engaged. It's been, I think, a week, maybe 2 weeks since my last show. And as you know, I tend to do my shows when I feel called to do something. I will still do something on the Baroness Casey report into the standards for the police. I will still do that report because I think it's important and something needs to be read on it. Although, that being said, how many of those suggestions to make the police service better will actually be taken up, especially by this current administration, is frankly anyone's guess. Update into some of my previous readings. I did a reading on Dominic Raab, the Deputy Prime Minister, a few months ago, and I said that he was deeply unhappy, and I could see that he was deeply unhappy because my energy was like really down, and that he was actually thinking of whether he should even stay in politics. I also saw that he would be going, but it would be very painful for Rishi to let him go. And that happened. Finally, the report came through about 2 days ago. Instead of Rishi immediately issuing a statement or Dominic immediately issuing a statement in regards to the report that found that he had been bullying members of staff and had broken the ministerial code, we got about 24 hours where there was no news coming out. And then finally, on Friday morning, Dominic Raab issues his resignation letter, which was, well, I mean, his resignation letter was something out of the narcissist play prayer, basically. I didn't do it, and if I did it, um, I it wasn't that bad, and if it was that bad, then I was forced to do it, and if it affected you badly, then it's not my fault, etc., etc. It's your fault for my bad behavior. That's basically it. If you want to know what the narcissist prayer is, just Google that and it will bring up. And basically, his resignation is a blow by blow of the narcissist's prayer as to why him being accused of being a bully, and found guilty of bullying behavior is it's all our fault. It's our fault as a country that he was a bully. So there's that. But yes, now he's no longer on the front bench. So that's something. Yes. Also, the thing about Suella Braverman, she is making her ropes to hang herself with longer and longer. It's getting worse and worse. Um, that's awful. Tomorrow we have the first emergency alert system thing going out on our phones, which will be awful. I don't know why we need it. I mean, I can understand in various parts of the world where you're at risk at a number of natural disasters like tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanoes, things like that, as to why it's important to have an emergency alert system. But this is the UK. The only emergency alerts we need would be weather related. And being in the UK, you already know that before you leave the house, you should check your phone to see what the weather's going to be like, because it might show that the sun is shining when you look out the window. The sun is shining so brightly. The sun is shining, but you go outside and it's freezing. The sun is shining, but you go outside and it's very windy and it's freezing. The sun is shining, but you go outside, it's very windy and it's freezing and it's raining. So everybody, as a rule, checks the weather on their phones. I mean, there's nothing that we like talking about in the UK more than the weather. If there's going to be a blizzard and you bump into your next door neighbor, they will say, "Have you heard there's going to be a blizzard?" Or, "Have you heard tomorrow it looks like we're getting a hurricane?" Yeah, that's what it's like in the UK. And even when we have earthquakes, it's usually like 1 or 2 on the Richter scale, because we're not on one of those fault lines, the plates of the earth, the fault. Yeah, we're not on those, so we don't really get earthquakes. So we don't actually need an emergency broadcast. I think it's just a matter of alert on our phones. I think it's a matter of making people feel more afraid. I think that it's about making people feel afraid. But hey ho. Anyway, tonight's broadcast has absolutely nothing to do with that. I did watch a very good video, however, on broadcasts in regards to that. And and I found it interesting. So I'm just doing something on here, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and I found it very interesting where there was a tarot reader who did that. I think her name is Amanda Ellis, and she's a UK tarot reader. I saw a couple of her videos. Very good reader. And so there's that. But tonight, it's all about the royals. So let's have a look and see. I've been wondering for a while now as to what is going on with the dates that they've chosen for the coronation. Just this week gone, we went through the first of our eclipses for the next few weeks, and in actually, I think within the next 14 days, there's going to be another eclipse. So, having done a little research, not a lot, just a little. Having done a little research, I thought, well, is this really the best time to have a coronation? Is this really the best time for King Charles III? I spent my whole life calling him Prince Charles, so please excuse me. I mean no disrespect. But is this really the best time for him to have his coronation after 2 eclipses? Now, the reason why some of you might be like, what difference does that make? Let me explain. Eclipse energy is eclipse energy is like flicking a switch, and it's a pretty big switch. It flips, it literally flips the energy for you. So if you're at a point in your life where you're feeling stagnant, you're feeling that there's nothing but obstacles in front of you, you're feeling blocked, eclipse energy is great for flipping that energy. It's great to use your, like if you're doing candle magic or rituals or whatever you're doing, it's great for flipping energy. So instead of you having all these obstacles in front of you, now the eclipse energy will flip that. So the road ahead is clear. Having a coronation on the 6th of May, just after the next eclipse, that doesn't make any sense at all. He's already a king. Now, the fact that there's also a Mercury retrograde, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the moon will be in Scorpio. Let's see, next lunar eclipse. Next lunar eclipse. Okay. The next, no. Okay. The next eclipse. Okay, next eclipse. Not lunar eclipse, just the next eclipse. Next eclipse. UK. Okay, let's have a look see. Okay. There's a next eclipse. Right. Let's have a look see. Next eclipse. Oh gosh, here we go. Reject all. Right. There's one happening. Okay, you won't be able to see it from this country, but there is going to be another eclipse taking place this year. I can't. When is it? I can't find it, but there will be another eclipse. Now, as I recall, and I could be wrong, I believe that's going to be in Scorpio. Now, Prince Charles himself has a sun in Scorpio. But there's also next eclipse. Let's just put next eclipse 2023. Okay, yes, Friday the 5th of May. Friday the 5th of May is the next eclipse that's taking place on the planet. We won't be able to see, I don't think we'll be able to see very much, but that doesn't matter. Oh, yes, we had the hybrid solar eclipse, and then we have the next eclipse. Now, let's have a look at the date. Astrology. Okay. Now, let's have a look, see. What signs will the eclipses be? Okay. Yes, full moon, lunar eclipse, Scorpio, 5th of May. And I am wondering if let's have a look, see. Eclipse charts on this page. Okay. I'm wondering where Mercury is going to be, because as I understand it, and I could be completely and utterly wrong. Let's have a look here. Where is Mercury going to be? Okay, Mercury, Mercury, Mercury. Where are you? The moon is in Scorpio and Venus is in Gemini. Okay, Mars is in Cancer. Scorpio, you're right. Mercury will be in Taurus. And as I understand it, and I could be completely wrong, but as I understand it, this is happening during a Mercury retrograde. Who on earth has a coronation during a Mercury retrograde? That makes no sense. Mercury retrograde 2023. Let's have a look. Mercury retrograde 2023. Flipping heck. A Mercury retrograde in Taurus. I had to look. Don't get it twisted, people. A Mercury retrograde doesn't always result in huge disruption. Doesn't always result that way. It depends on what sign the Mercury retrograde is taking place in. It depends on your natal chart. It depends if your Mercury is retrograded in your natal chart. So there are a lot of things. However, if you're planning a huge event where you're trying to communicate to a large number of people at the same time, doing that during a Mercury retrograde is not the best thing. A Mercury retrograde in Taurus for the crowning of a king, it's not good, peoples. It's really not good. So just after 2 eclipses during a Mercury retrograde in Taurus, opposing his sun in Scorpio. I don't think this is going to work out so well. And I'd like people to take note. A coronation is a magical ritual. Understand, a coronation is a magical ritual. A lot goes into it. And if you doubt my words, please remember that during the Queen's funeral, one of her officials stood over the Queen's coffin and broke her wand. Yes, people, the Queen had a wand and it was broken over her coffin during her funeral. So even if you don't believe in magic and you don't believe in rituals or whatever, I must say, if you don't, I don't know why you're watching this channel, but never mind. You're still welcome to be here. Even if you believe in none of these things, the royal family, they do believe in magic. It's the same reason why ravens are always kept in the Tower of London. It's the same reason why the Queen has a wand. It's the same reason why there's this thing where they've got to look for, what's it called? The Oreo or something or other. There's all kinds of rituals that take place during a coronation, all kinds. I suggest Google it and you will find out. There's all kinds of rituals that take place during a coronation. So, with all that being said, the question, not just will the coronation take place, I don't think that that's enough of a question to ask. I think the question might also be, because I'm going to ask 2 questions tonight, I'm going to try and make it super quick. The question is why? Why was this date chosen? Was the astrologer asleep? Was he drunk? What is the purpose of choosing that date? And is it such a terrible idea that something is going to go drastically wrong? Because if you do believe in magic, and you do believe, as I believe, that they must have a royal astrologer, and to be honest, Charles strikes me as the kind of person who does have those beliefs. So if you believe in all of that, then the question has to be, what was the what made them choose that particular date? What is this supposed to, what's supposed to happen? Is there something else going on? Is there something else behind it? I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And that's why I'm asking that question tonight. And I wanted to get it out tonight before I forget or try to put it off or something. So here I am trying a thing. Bear with me. Okay, where's my, oh yes, I'm going to light my incense now. Okay, let's have a look. See, oh, I think this one is the dragon's blood one, isn't it? Okay, well, why not? Oopsie daisy. Here we go. Nope. Is it lit? Is it lit? Yeah, it's lit. Oh gosh, can I get this thing to stay up? The incense does not want to stay up. Behave yourself. Come on. That's it. Boom, it's done. Right, so questions to ask. Questions to ask. Let's have a look and see what is around at the coronation, and is this going to go off? And then after I ask the question, what is around the coronation, is it going to go off? The second question I'm going to ask will be, what was the motives behind choosing this date? Because it's a very, 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 very strange date to choose to be crowned. Very strange indeed. So let's have a look. Okay, as usual, I am going to use my archetype cards to get an idea of what was the energy behind this. Okay. The day of the coronation. Is everything going to go to plan? One card. Oh, 2 cards have jumped out. Okay. I'm just going to take those 2 cards. This deck is always so responsive for me. I have no idea what the cards are, so I'm just going to go with it. I can always rely on this deck to give me answers. I'll bring this down a bit so you can see that I am not pulling a fast one, and you can actually see me shuffle the cards. So, okay. What are the energies? Okay, around the day of the coronation. Yes. Oh, goodness me. Okay. I'm going to just put those away because another card flew out before, and I'm going to take this card as, so I think it has something it wants to say. In fact, I think the whole deck has something it wants to say. So who knows? Right, next up, I am choosing from my Sacred Destiny Oracle. This also clues me into what the energies are around the really big questions. Okay, what's the coronation? The date of the coronation. How are things going to go in the coronation? Will Charles make it to the coronation? Will things run smoothly? What's going to... Oops. Okay, I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to just take those two cards. Okay, will Charles make it to the coronation? Will things run smoothly? Will Charles make it to the coronation? Will things run smoothly? Okay, another card just jumped out at me. Okay, I have no idea what these cards are. As you can see, I just shuffle. Okay, so there's those two cards. Okay, I'll just put them... All right, yeah, that one came first. Okay, that one's first, second, third. Okay, any hints? Any hints? Anything you want me to know? Any additional information? Any additional insight into the cards I've pulled? Especially the Caroline Miss cards. I'm just going to take it like that. Any additional insight you want me to... Oh, sugar. Okay. Any additional insight linked to the Caroline Miss cards, the big pink ones? Any additional insight? Any additional insight? I'm just going for it. Okay, one more card, please. One more card. Any additional insight? Any additional insight? Any additional insight? Any additional insights? Nope. Any additional insights? I can't have half the pack, babes. Come on, give me one more card. One more card. One more card. Is this the card? No, that is not the card. One more card. This is the card. Okay. And finally, we have our tarot. Okay. How will the day of the coronation go? How will May the 6th go? Will Charles make it to the coronation? Will there be issues on the day? Will Charles make it to the coronation? Will there be issues on the day? Cards do want to jump out here. I can tell cards want to jump out, but they're jumping out en masse. The cards are jumping out en masse. Will there be issues on the day? I'm going to read that as a yes, probably, but let's see what the tarot has to say. Will there be issues on the day of Charles's coronation? Okay, right. Okay, I'm going to go for that one. One. Yes, definitely this one. Two. This one. No, that one. Three. Four. Five. 6. No. Right, let me clear these ones away. Make some space here. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Oops. Right. Okay. That's that. And that is from my DC tarot deck. Okay. Let's have a look. What's happening with King Charles III? Let's check this out. Righty ho, let's see. What do the cards have to say? This is about the day of the coronation. What are the underlying energies? Ooh, Avenger. Avenger. Light attributes. Desire to balance the scales of justice. Righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. The shadow attribute. Resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Let's continue, shall we? Second card, the energies, child of nature. Light attributes, friendships with animals, communication with nature spirits. This is very Charles, actually. Shadow attribute, tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. That is not, well, especially not the environment anyway. That's not really Charles. He's got this thing. Years ago, he was one of the first people to come out and say that he spoke to his plants. He believes in things like homeopathy long after they've gone out of fashion. And he's very much into environmentalism. Everyone knows that that's his jam. So I would say that's his thing for sure. Addict. Okay. Light attribute. Helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. The shadow attribute compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. Okay. For direction, I pulled these cards specifically for direction. This is under the Avenger card. I don't know what to say to that. Okay, child of nature. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. Under addict, squeeze. Now, what the hell does that mean? Oh, I know what that means. Okay, okay, okay. I'm going to give you the interpretation shortly. Okay. The energy that I'm getting from these cards, the energy is that this coronation for Charles, he wants to change some things, right? He wants to change some things, he wants to make some changes. But after having spent the vast majority of his adult life wanting to become king, he has come to the realization that perhaps it's not really a great fit. He had a good thing going as the Prince of Wales, but now the spotlight is on him as the king. There's some reluctance going on here. Under the Child of Nature card, which is very much his energy, something that he believes in, there's a reluctance. This is echoed again, a reluctance. Gather your tired self up and handle it. I don't think he's going to be that well on the day. I don't think he's going to be that well on the day. I think on the day, he's not going to be feeling too great. He's not going to be feeling particularly energetic. Um, but he's going to feel that he has to go through with this because obviously it's his coronation. So why isn't he going to go through with it? But he's going to feel particularly exhausted on the day. He's going to feel particularly unwell on the day. But it will, I do think, looking at least at the energy of these three cards, that it will go ahead. This card is about his relationship with Camilla. When it came up, I was like, what? Addicts? That don't make no sense. But this is a woman he couldn't forget. And some in English slang would describe her as his main squeeze. So there is the desire to please her too. Now, the next card I have here, Enlightenment. This comes under the Avenger card, which tells me that he's come to the realization. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't. The Avenger card. You've got a good thing going. Don't win that. Enlightenment. He's come to the realization that perhaps becoming king ain't really for him. But he's going to handle his stuff. He's got his big boy pants. He's going to get it done. In order to get it done, he needs to remain flexible. To handle what's coming, he needs to be flexible, even though he doesn't necessarily want to do it. It's interfering with his ability to open his mouth and say how he really feels about things that he feels are really important. and now he's going to be a crowned king. He can't say how he really feels. And I have to say that while he's not my favorite royal, he's not the one I dislike the most. Charles has something to say. He's got very strong opinions on everything. But sometimes he opens his mouth and he says something, and I have to agree, you know? Now, under the addict card, this is what I think. This I think is all about Camilla. I've said. Under that card, we have gateway. Gateway. What does this mean? I look at this card and I say to myself, yes, this was his gateway to honor his love for Camilla. She was only ever supposed to be queen consort. That was the agreement that he had with his mother. But he's wearing a crown now, so he gets to decide, and his wife's going to be a queen, and that is that. And she's going to also have her coronation too, and she's going to have her crown on her head. And that is that. So that's the gateway there. Okay, now let's see. What does the tarot have to say about that day? Ooh, first card, the Hermit. I believe this probably refers to a ceremony that takes place the day before the monarch is crowned, where they will be on their own in prayer and contemplation, looking within. Knight of Cups is bringing forth support. Support. Looking within and being supported. Looks like someone's playing a guitar in the background. Knight of Cups can also be someone coming forward with romantic gestures, loving gestures. Ah, he's the rock star. Looking within, but being the rock star. Underneath this, the Page of Pentacles. This wants to send a message of stability. In the past, I have here the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles. So this is about generosity, giving, what's owed, something that's owed, debts repaid. Let's continue. I shouldn't be that surprised to see this crowning the reading. This is about stepping back. This is about not necessarily retreat, but respite. Feeling tired, wanting to withdraw. Immediate future. Page of Wands. So this is about news. Often good news. Often good news. I'm not sure I'll look at the cards and make my summations at the end. In his mind, we have the Seven of Pentacles. In his mind, this is about analyzing. This is about a summation. This is about looking at what you have and asking yourself, is it enough? The environment, of course, of course, of course. A new start, a new start, new money, a new position. Oh, is that not interesting? In the concerns, I have another ace. I have another ace. And this is about a new beginning. So I asked the question, is the coronation going to go ahead? This is a resounding yes. But there are three aces, and they come one after the other. So this is not merely about so there's three new developments happening here. Three new developments happening here. Okay, I'm going to have to look to the book because this is some newness. Three new developments happening here. Okay. Let me first check out that I want to check something else out first before I go there, because okay, in the past there's been generosity. I know what the Four of Swords is. That's a stepping back and a respite, a feeling of tiredness. In the immediate future, we have the Page of Wands. And I said I have a feeling that that was about news. Yes, good news coming forward. Yes. Okay. Right. So I said that that was about good news in the immediate future. But I'm thinking about these wands. Not the wands, the aces. So many aces. Now, I could read it as it being about him, about one person, right? He's king. But he doesn't come up There's no kings in this reading, not a one. I get pentacles, pentacles, pentacles. That's 3 pentacles, 4 pentacles, 4 pentacles, and only 1 major arcana. Right. So as I said, it's all about newness, but there's 3 new things coming. 3. This begins 3 different new things. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is usually about new money, a windfall, helping hands. It's usually tied to finances, but it can also be tied to health. However, that comes in the environment. So yes, a new, all right. There is something here about the coronation bringing in new money or more money into the UK. So there's something there with that, but it's going to cost 100 million. Let's hope it brings in more than 100 million. So there's something there with that. But this Ace of Wands. So we've got new money. And we've got a new venture, new life, new ideas and innovations. Okay. But what's the fear? That's the hope. New ideas and innovations. There's certain things that he wants to change in regards to when a monarch swears their oaths. So he wants to say that he's a defender of the faiths, which is problematic because he's supposed to be head of the Church of England. So you can't be a defender of, let's say, Hinduism, but you're head of the Church of England. That doesn't make sense. Now, for many people, especially those who don't come from a faith background, they might not understand that. But now to say you're the defender of faith, as in a huge thing, as in faith, so that's fair enough. But their faiths? And which faiths are you defending? Are you defending those faiths over there and not those faiths over there? Or are you just defending the faith, as in your faith, the one that you're supposed to be head of? Or are you defending faith in general? Do you see where I'm going with this? There's also a huge issue with people, leaders of various different other faiths, also saying prayers over the monarch while he's making his oaths, which is an issue because he's supposed to be head of the Church of England. I'm just saying, maybe the reigning monarch shouldn't be head of the Church of England. Maybe, but hey, I'm just some woman who, reads cards and shit. So there's that. So yes, there's innovations that he wants to bring in, new innovations. Yes, new innovations. But there's also here an Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is usually about new love and new support, new emotion, new feeling. I feel like he wants people to see him differently. And to be honest, I think people, he's entering, yeah. Okay. Oh, sugar. The desire here is to be innovative, is to bring in a newness, a new way of doing things, to be a pioneer. I'm not sure if that's going to work out. Straight up, I'm not sure if that's going to work out. Because I'm looking at this Seven of Pentacles where you're doing the assessment and you're like, do we have enough? Is it enough? Do we need more? Being astute. And whilst there is a yes to say that this is all going to go ahead, I'm looking at this as a whole. And I'm going to say that with this card crowning the reading, there will be efforts to bring about 3 new things. There will be efforts to bring about a new money, new opportunities, new way of doing things, a new relationship with the public. But I'm looking at the Ace of Cups and it's sitting right next to the Four of Swords, and I'm seeing that, and the concern is the Ace of Wands. Is the newness going to go down? I think for some people it might, but for others, not so much. Let's have a look at the bottom of the pack. Okay. Bottom of the pack. I've got 6 of Swords. I've got the Star. I've got the Queen of Swords. What's the 6 of Swords again? The Six of Swords is calmer waters. 6 of Swords is calmer waters. Okay. All right, so we have calmer waters. The desire to move on to calmer waters. The hope. Right. This is his hope to have a new relationship with the public and for them to have a new relationship with his wife. That's the hope. That's the hope. Let me have a look and see. I'm not surprised to see that. The restriction. 8 of Swords. Nine of Swords. This is the thing that's really been worrying him, is how people are going to respond to Camilla. 8 of Wands. Fast movement. He's going to know very quickly how people really feel about him and really feel about his wife now becoming queen. He's going to find out very, very quickly. He's going to find out quickly. It's going to be a difficult time and he's going to want to retreat. He's going to want to retreat quickly for his family. Legacy. So he can make way for his son. Telling you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's the Tower. I'm going to say it. I'm just going to put it out there. And I apologize. I don't want to upset anybody. But I. It's going to be too much. It's all going to be a bit too much. Will the coronation go ahead? Yes. I was going to ask the next question, like, why did they choose that day? I don't even know if I should shuffle the cards again to find out why do they choose that day. I have a sneaky suspicion that that day was chosen because he doesn't want to be king for very long. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Just a woman who like does tarot and shit. So whatever. I'm gonna have a quick look and have a look and see why was this date chosen. That's what I want to know. Why was the date chosen? Is there something that um is there something to do with the coronation taking place at that particular time that as to why that date was chosen? Okay. Okay. Why was the date for the coronation chosen to be the 6th of May? Is there an underlying reason why Charles would opt, to have a ritual chosen for that date? Is there an underlying reason? What is the underlying reason? What was the underlying reason to choose that particular date for the coronation? What was the underlying reason to choose that date for the coronation? Okay, what was the underlying reason? Underlying reason for choosing that date. Underlying reason, underlying reason, underlying reasons for choosing that date. No, not that card. That card. Okay, so that's how many cards now? 3 cards. I'm going to take that one, 4 cards. Underlying date for choosing that date. Underlying reason for choosing that date. Underlying reason for choosing that date. What is the underlying reason for choosing that date? Did they even have an astrologer? I don't know. I'm going to take that one. That's 1, 2. That's 5 cards. Underlying reason. What was the underlying reason for choosing that day? Okay, how many cards is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 2 more cards, please. May I have 2 more cards, please, on the underlying reasons for choosing that particular date? Restriction. You felt Okay, underneath that we have the Two of Cups. I mean, this is clearly him and Camilla, Charles and Camilla, clearly. In the past, we have Justice. Again, we have the Page of Wands crowning the reading. Good news. In the immediate future, we have the King of Wands, an innovator and pioneer. In the mind's eye, we have the Six of Cups. Nostalgia, harking back to the good old days, sometimes. But the environment is a Three of Swords. This is reminiscent of painful times. Painful times. The concern is in regards to being celebrated or being looked up to. Six of Wands. That's a concern. And then again, we have the Hermit looking inwards and asking oneself deep questions. I ended up picking up an extra card, but we'll get to that. Okay, I asked the question, why was this particular date chosen? A date that's really quite inauspicious, not the greatest time to be crowned. Is this something happening or something going on, or is there some kind of motivation behind the scenes that we are unaware of? And I picked up on it before. The motivation behind the scenes that we are unaware of are oh gosh, the motivations behind the scenes that we are unaware of is the restriction of actually being the reigning monarch and the concern about endings, something coming to an end. He doesn't want to be king long. He literally doesn't want to be king long. It harks back to this card. That's what it harks back to. His marriage, him and Camilla, this is at the base of the reading. There's something about them being reigning monarchs together that he feels justice has been served, because she should always have been his wife. This is about this is his get back. But this is his get back where he doesn't want to be there for long. Now, there's an enthusiasm here, and good news. I would put this, I'd say he's trying to prepare the way for William because he wants William to be king. But he wants William to be king while he's young enough to enjoy it. William will definitely become king before he turns 15. In fact, I really don't see Charles being king for very long at all. Most people haven't, and that's fair. I'm not the first person to say it. Um, okay, immediate future. Step in, be the innovator, be the creator, make some changes, be the pioneer, be the one to lead from the front with new ideas and new ways of doing things. I see that as William. Why? What's the reason? In his mind, he misses being the Prince of Wales. Simple. The nostalgia of being the Prince of Wales. But actually, my goodness, this is a 4, not a 6. Okay. I've got it. What am I doing? Silly me. This is the card I like to call the fairy humbug. Remember, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The 4 of Cups I see as the fairy humbug. It's the thing that someone tries to give you that you didn't really want. Or you thought you wanted it, now you see it, you're not sure you really want it. It's a state of ambivalence. I want it, I don't want it. And that's what's happening in Charles's mind right now. That's why this date was chosen. The feeling of restriction and the wanting this not to last very long. There you go. This wanting this to end soon. Not that he wants to die soon. I'm not saying that. That's not what this card means. This card is just an ending, not that ending. Okay. So, yeah, this card is one of ambivalence. I want it, I don't want it. The environment. The environment is, I don't like it. I don't like it. This ain't fun. He finally got the thing that he wanted for so many years, only to find out, I don't really want this, because he feels restricted. So, the concern here is of the house. The concern here is the firm. That is why we have this. The heartbreak, the hurt, that I don't like this. This isn't for me. This is making me really miserable. The choosing of this date is because he chooses not to be king for a long time. He chooses not to spend the rest of his days as king. It was a choice. He chooses to pave the way for his son to be king for decades, not him. And then there's also the health issues, which I'm not going to get into too much, but there are health issues here too. The firm is why he feels the restrictions. The outcome, the Hermit. He has looked within himself and realized that all this time he wanted to win a thing, and now he's finally got it. He really doesn't want it. He's setting things up for his son. The hope. The hope. What else is here? What else is here? A stable transition of power between him and his son. That indicates strength. Yeah. And that's it, peoples. Why did he choose such an inauspicious day? Why did he choose such a terrible day? He doesn't want to be king for long. He's finally become king. All the spotlight's on him. He can't even open his mouth and say how he really feels. It's making him feel very frustrated. He feels imprisoned. He wanted to become king because he felt a sense that he and Camilla were unjustly treated by the firm for so long. So, yes, now he's king. He gets to put the metal hat on his head. He gets to put a metal hat on her head, and they get to be king and queen together, but not for long, which is pretty much exactly what he wants. He doesn't want to be king for long. And his health isn't that great. And he's not feeling that chipper anyway. And he's now become king, and he's realized that he doesn't have the energy to enjoy being king. So he wants to spend the short time he has been king to pave the way for his son, to indicate strength and stability, because he knows his son will be king for decades, and that's how he wants it. So, and that is the end of my reading. Thank you very much for joining me, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you for joining me. If you would like a personal reading with me, you can see my details at the bottom of the screen. I will do another reading next week. I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to doing the one on Baroness Casey's police review. But I no doubt there's something else will come up next week. And you will see me sometime next week. I'm not sure when. As I said, I'm not sure about doing that police review at the moment. There are other issues, like, for example, is Nicola Sturgeon going to get arrested? Because everybody, her husband's been arrested, the treasurer's been arrested. The only person, I mean, who else is going to get arrested from the SNP? And if there are arrests, will any of the people so far arrested be charged? Will her husband be charged? That's an interesting question to ask, isn't it? So there's that. What else is happening? So many things. One of the things I've been thinking about doing is some readings on various issues that we've been going through just as a collective. This is a time where so much is questioned. We wonder, can we even trust the people who are leading us? No. We wonder, oh yes, and let me not forget, there are the elections that are taking place this May. The elections are taking place. Yes. Is it the 5th or the 4th of May? Hmm. If it's the 4th of May, which is a Thursday, then I might have to do a Star Wars special. May the 4th be with you. That's my holiday, man. That's my holiday as a nerd. That's my nerd holiday. It's like nerd Christmas. I don't know if I can do one then, but maybe before. Anyway, whatever I decide, you'll no doubt see me before Nerd Christmas, which is May the 4th. Laters. I'm out.